and welcome to the Briscoe Museum. I'm Laura Marshall Clark, and today I'm going to talk to you about Visual Voices, contemporary Chickasaw art. Visual Voices explores current issues and art practices in contemporary Chickasaw art. The works are centered on themes of place and belonging, nature and the environment, historic homelands and present-day communities. The artworks are characterized by both individuality and collective Chickasaw identity, and they find their inspiration in Chickasaw history and culture, such as seasonal themes that bridge early Mississippian culture with expressions of Chickasaw lives today. In the words of the exhibition artists, our stories are fluid, experimental, creations of curiosity, narrated through the innovative use of diverse media such as metal, paint, fiber, or clay, and reminiscent of the same purposeful manner that Chickasaw ancestors layered their ancient mounds. Chickasaw painter Billy Hensley is inspired from a desire to connect to his tribe. He wants to connect to his family, his past, and the future. Holmes Colbert features a prominent tribal leader. Billy often paints using bold colors and various striping techniques. His work is constantly evolving through experimentation with new techniques and mediums, and his portraits weave abstract, timeless backgrounds with traditional imagery and cultural symbols. Through his work, he hopes to encourage interest in the Chickasaw people and a foothold in the global art community. He's inspired by everyday life and the nostalgia it brings, yet the subject of a painting may be irrelevant. It's the emotional response to the subject that truly matters. I especially like Billy's piece of Holmes Colbert. Holmes is not only a striking figure, but his eyes seem to peer behind the geometric lines, as if he's looking through time and peering into our day. Joanna Underwood Blackburn's primary art mediums are pottery, sculpture, and graphic design. Her goal is to create new life into our ancestors' designs inspired by the Mississippian culture period and to make them relevant to today. Her connections to others through contemporary art is seen in Prayers Rising. It was formed from steel and fired Oklahoma clay and includes prayers given to her by members of numerous Oklahoma tribes. Joanna's sculpture is especially beautiful. With a name like Prayers Rising, you can imagine below is the sacred fire, and it symbolizes the prayers that go up to heaven. And each one is a prayer from one of the 39 Oklahoma tribes, and it's inscribed on the clay piece in the tribal language. This is another beautiful work by Joanna Underwood Blackburn. It's a large bronze called Water Jar and very symbolic of the role that women play in tribal society. Southeastern tribes are matrilineal, which means that your descendancy is traced through your mother. Your clan comes from your mother. And so this woman is not only a water carrier, she's a culture carrier. The turtle is especially significant in Southeastern tribes. Women during the stomp dance wore turtle shells filled with nice rocks or pebbles, and they strapped them to their legs. The tribal singer would lead, and the men would respond to the songs, and the women would also dance with the stomp dancers, and they would keep the rhythm by the way they moved their legs and their feet with the sound of the turtle rattles. They still do that today. And so the water jar is a wonderful symbol of the important place of women in Chickasaw culture and history. As an artist, Brenda Kingery sees life as textural patterns that can almost be described as narrative symbolism. Sometimes her paintings have as many as 25 thin layers of paint. Her goal is to create paintings full of life's breath. Just as in her Chickasaw grandmother's stories, every culture gathers to sing and dance, and these stories are captured in her paintings. Through the depiction of abstract dance in her compositions, she almost captures time. Art then becomes the embodiment of culture, recording her cultural identity. This is Brenda's work, 2:30 Powwow. What I love about this work is powwow dancers are so vibrant and their regalia is so beautiful. And Brenda's captured that. The piece seems as if it's moving, and you can see the beautiful colors as if that's the ribbons, and at the top is their feathers. This piece is a beautiful example of narrative symbolism. Multimedia artist Dustin Mader keeps one eye on the past and one on the future, exploring the modern world through the lens of a native artist and making these connections in his work. Through the practice of traditional and modern arts of shell carving, painting, casting, sculpting, digital art, and more, his work continues the traditions of his ancestors. He uses a variety of materials to tell his stories, and he's not afraid of new mediums for an ornate Muskogean aesthetic. This is a great piece by Dustin Mader. It's called Cosmic Warrior 2, and it's a wonderful example of pop culture's use with an ancient twist. You can see the stormtrooper helmet is adorned with antlers and fur and shell carving. Dustin is really great at bringing together all those different art mediums to create a unique artwork. Thank you for joining us for this special tour of Visual Voices Contemporary Chickasaw Art.